In this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what Dreamweaver is, and equally importantly, what it isn't. In technical terms, Dreamweaver is an Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, for building websites. If I open the New Document dialog box by going to the File menu and selecting New, you'll see that there's a huge range of page types to choose from. The reason there's so many is because Dreamweaver is a professional tool that's capable of handling a wide range of web-related technologies. Most of the time, you'll be working with just two, HTML and CSS. Occasionally, you'll also work with JavaScript files. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It controls the structure of the web page. CSS, or Cascading Style Sheets, controls the layout and overall look of the page. JavaScript adds dynamic features to web pages, such as flyout menus. Note that the name is JavaScript. Don't shorten it to Java. That's a completely different language. Many people describe Dreamweaver as a WYSIWYG editor. That's an acronym for What You See is What You Get. That was true of older versions of Dreamweaver, but nowadays I think it's more accurate to describe it as a visual editor. Let's return to Dreamweaver, where I can show you what I mean. I can drag an image from the Files panel like this and place it wherever I like inside the page, but the text doesn't flow around it. Even if I drag the image to the right-hand side of the page, the text still doesn't flow. Dreamweaver isn't a desktop publishing program where you can lay out your pages by dragging and dropping. You need to use CSS to control the layout and look of the page. If I click the Split button at the top of the page here, it shows me on the left-hand side the underlying HTML markup. This not only contains the text in the page, it also controls the structure. These P tags, for instance, are paragraphs. The IMG tag is an image tag, and the SRC is the source of the image. And if I scroll up, we have an H2 here, which is a second-level heading. There it is in Design View. Dreamweaver assists you by generating most of the HTML markup automatically, so you don't need to worry about learning everything by heart, but you should become familiar with the most common elements and attributes. Understanding the markup that Dreamweaver creates on your behalf is vital to working successfully with a program and to becoming a successful web designer or developer. Let's bring some life and color to this page by adding some styles. I'm going to go to the Format menu, select CSS Styles, and then Attach Style Sheet. And that's the style sheet I want, Main CSS. And now we've got a much more interesting looking page. Let's just switch back to Design View. Now the image still doesn't look right. The text is not flowing around it correctly. To do that, I have to use some CSS. I'm going to apply it from my class menu down here, and it will be float left. And now the text is flowing around the image. I can also use a CSS class called float right to move it to the right-hand side and have the text flow around the left. The style rules are in a separate style sheet. Let's just open it and have a look. And these are the rules that control the look of the page. Putting the styles in a different file is an important principle in modern web design, separating the presentation from the content. This idea can be difficult to get used to, but it's ultimately far more efficient. Changes to this one file can affect hundreds of pages within a website. So instead of making changes to each individual page, you just alter this one file. Let's return to the web page. Dreamweaver's Design View gives an approximate view of what a page will look like, but it's not exactly the same as it will be in a browser. Dreamweaver also has Live View, which uses the same WebKit browser engine as Safari and Chrome. So if I just switch on Live View, you'll see the difference. So this gives you a good idea, without the need to leave Dreamweaver's document window, of what your page will look like in a real website. Dreamweaver creates a lot of styles through specialized panels and dialog boxes. If I just switch off Live View, you can see one of the most important panels here at the bottom. It's the Property Inspector. And it's context sensitive. At the moment, it's showing me the details of an image. If I click here, it then gives me details of text. And when working with text, the Property Inspector can deal with HTML and with CSS. Another very important panel is this one here on the right, the Files panel. Dreamweaver not only creates web pages, it also manages your website. It's a site-based program, and you create an exact copy of your website on your local computer in Dreamweaver, and when it's ready to deploy on the internet, Dreamweaver will upload it to your remote server directly from the Files panel. You can set up multiple sites in Dreamweaver, and you use the Files panel to switch between different sites. Another panel you're likely to use frequently is the Insert panel. This allows you to insert common elements such as images and div tags, which help build the structure of the page. The Insert panel has multiple categories, so you can choose things like forms. This category helps you build forms quickly and efficiently. And whenever you need to dive into the underlying markup, Dreamweaver comes to your help with a lot of code hints. There are code hints for all the main languages, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. There are also built-in code hints for the popular JavaScript frameworks, jQuery and jQuery Mobile, as well as for server-side technologies such as PHP. Finding your way around Dreamweaver can seem overwhelming at the start because it's a tool that brings together most aspects of web development. It's a one-stop shop. But as you progress through this course, you'll quickly become familiar with the most important parts of the user interface, and I hope you'll be building websites in next to no time.